I was watching on YouTube a fellow by the name of Elliot Coleman. He's a real big gardener. He's up in Maine. And he said some interesting things. He said that if you use a conventional greenhouse or a hoop house, by doing that, you're moving your climate 500 miles south. Okay? So being in Maine, if he put his plants underneath a greenhouse, it's as though he were growing it in Georgia. And if he put a blanket on top of them inside the greenhouse, that moved it also another 500 miles. So now he's in Florida. What that allowed him to do is to grow plants year-round. Now, I'm in the far south, and we have a freeze coming up, so I want to cover an experimental pea bed. But he was saying that if you use low hoop houses, it only costs about 5% of the cost of a greenhouse, a conventional greenhouse. And I saw another man on YouTube who made a jig to bend EMT. This is half-inch electrical tubing. And I'm going to show you, if you're interested, how to make this. And these pipes are 10 feet long, half-inch in diameter, and they're only $2.24. They're an incredible deal, easy to make, and they will last a very, very long time. This cost nothing. I just had scraps around. They weren't large enough scraps, so you can see I just glued and screwed it, but I had to make pieces to get it to all work out. But determine the width of the hoop that you want, and that's going to determine your radius on this. The way that I did this was I put this in front of my bed, and I determined that I wanted, my dimensions are going to be different than yours, so do it however you're going to need it. But I decided that it was going to have to be about that long. And then I found the center point of it, and I took a string, a little clip, and a pencil. And that's how I determined my arc. Okay? Now, there's two radiuses here. There's the inside radius and the outside radius. And you can't use the same circle for it. So, in this example, what I would do is I'd draw two. I'd bring it in 1 inch. Okay, I did this outside one. And then I'd mark it on my board and cut it out. And then for my two inside forms, I'd come in 1 inch using the same cardboard and go around it. And then I'd cut that out. And what that gives me if you can see right here, it gives me two half circles with a larger half circle on the outside and two of the same size circle on the inside. And that holds my pipe so that I don't need help bending it. Let me see if I can show you what that looks like. Can you see that? How it clamps it down while I bend it? And then, using my jig, I want them all about the same. So I'm bending it to the length of my board so that they're kind of uniform. This isn't rocket science. I think you'll be surprised at the results. Very easy to do, very inexpensive to make, and they'll last a very long time. Let's give it a shot. Right up to my mark. Reach over. There you go. How is that for speed? I'm telling you, if you wanted a lower hoop, just cut your pipe. You can't beat this system. These are only $2.24. That costs nothing. and you can make as many as you need in a heartbeat. The reason why I'm using taller hoops is because I put this screen mesh for the piece to grab a hold of, and I need to clear it. So you just put them in, push them down, and about 4 or 5 feet apart. Instant hoop house. And if you'll notice here, I have peas on pods popping up. Here's one. This is from that video that I made the mulch from. Remember the grinding of the leaves? That dirt is only just a few months old. It's amazing. Raised beds. A hoop house. Let's see how much food we can grow in this little spot here. Here's our experimental $20 greenhouse. It's made out of 1/2 inch EMT, which is electrical metallic tubing. These are $2.24 a piece, $2.24 a piece. The plastic was around $10 and it's 25 feet long. Very inexpensive to grow your vegetables year round. Give it a try.